YouTube? What is up? Welcome to the radar for Rasslin Studios.
What up, Marks?
Guys, Monday Night Raw just finished up. You know, it's Bobby Lashley's first Raw as WWE Champion, but it's a pretty lackluster Raw in general. Pretty, like, a lot of filler in here, nothing much going on. Only about 2 good matches on the show, 2 good things that actually happened on the show. It's a lot of interesting things to talk about, but not saying that's all good. To be honest with you, it's not really all that great around here in Monday Night Raw, other than Bobby Lashley being WWE Champion. It's his first official night as champion, so he would have the rematch against The Miz. We'll talk about that. You know, some really bad stuff going on with Shane and Braun Strowman, leading to most likely a match at them WrestleMania. Right now, everything's looking pretty bad. You know, more of Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton, but still no Fiend. So we'll get into it. But before we do, I remind you guys, drop a like and a comment on this video. Let me know what you guys think of Monday Night Raw currently in its current form. I know you're still excited about Bobby Lashley being champion, but what do you see him doing at Fastlane? Do you see him going against McIntyre? What do you see going on there? What do you think about the Braun and Shane stuff? The Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton stuff, all that. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Love to hear your guys' opinions and converse with you guys about wrestling. Notification bell so you guys are alerted when new videos drop. If you're watching, not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's jump into this video. 2 takeaways from Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw started off with The Miz in the ring cutting a promo, obviously upset about what happened last week. You know, the fact that he's always been there, he's been around for a while, and the fact that, like, he hasn't been hurt or anything like that, that, you know, they should have listened to him when he had the stomach ache or whatever. So he comes out and it's funny. Like, the interesting thing is Bobby Lashley's entrance. So I'll show you the clip of that right now. All right, so you saw Lashley's entrance. You got the Undertaker lightning and all stuff like that. A video package before he came out. And this is the one take. This is takeaway number 1. You see behind us. It's just Bobby Lashley as WWE Champion. I don't think there's a guy right now who looks better, more like a champion than Bobby Lashley does at this point. Even I think he looks more like a champion than Roman Reigns. I mean, he has the total package in terms of the look that you want, and he looks like just the utter badass, which he is obviously, and he's kicking ass. He pretty much beat down The Miz. You know, it's just he continues to, like, dominate The Miz, and The Miz is kind of like a joke now, so we may see The Miz just go into that whole Bad Bunny storyline. We'll see what happens with that. But in terms of you know, he has this match. He wins, obviously. Bobby Lashley, he retains his title, no doubt about that. Nobody thought, you know, The Miz was gonna win this match. No. So that happens. I mean,
there was a little bit of like an inkling maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, so like that happens, and then you're like, okay, where does it go from here? Because you have Drew McIntyre watching it in the backstage. Now it's interesting what will happen at Fastlane. What is Lashley gonna do at Fastlane? That's probably the most interesting thing about this, because we know he's going into WrestleMania either as champion or fighting for the championship. It's just what happens in between.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he looks great, and you saying he's like the best looking champion. I mean, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns might have something to say about that, but I mean, you can't really argue with it. He looked great. The entrance was great. He's grandiose. I think they're trying to make him a monster going into Mania and look unbeatable, look unstoppable, and I think they're booking him the right way. And I think he's just going to be squashing people until Mania, which is a great way to go into Mania. And whoever his opponent is, whether it's Drew and Sheamus, whether it's somebody else, whatever the case may be, they're going to be the underdog going in, because Bobby's going to be on a hot streak, and that's the way you want it to go. The Miz did what he had to do. He was a placeholder for a week or so, just to, you know, get some heat on Bobby, get him interesting. You know, he did a great job of The Miz. You want to see him get his ass kicked, and that's what the whole point of him being around was for. He did what he had to do. He's The Miz. We all love him. We like him. You love him or hate him. You got to respect him. But you know, it was a hot way to start Raw. I enjoyed the start of this Raw. I thought we were going somewhere with this Raw. It felt good the first hour. Yeah. Hour, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, may I say. But then it just fell off a cliff. And this was pretty much the high point of it, which is seeing Bobby Lashley come out looking like $1 million, looking like $1 billion, and doing what he had to do. And I'm excited to see his run to Mania. It should be really interesting.
It should be, yeah, just how they book it and how it goes forward. But, you know, he looks great. He obviously has new entrants. They're really, really pushing him as, like, the almighty, even his announcements, the almighty WWE Champion. So they're really pushing it heavy. It's a good thing. Push him heavy. They should do this. It's just, the only thing right now is, like, it feels like he may come into the same thing that SmackDown has, right? You have 2 monster heel champions, and they're probably, and they're just going to overshadow the rest of the show. It seems like that's what's going to happen on Monday Night Raws now, as it happens on SmackDown. You know, Roman is the main thing on the show anybody cares about. seems like Bobby Lashley is going to be the main thing on Raw that anybody cares about.
Bobby Lashley with MVP and the Hurt Business. I mean, yeah, that's a formidable crew, and like they've been the hottest thing on Raw for a year now. So it definitely should be, I agree with you completely on that.
Yeah, that's what it seems is going to end up becoming like, which I guess is fine. You have at least something that people want to see. But guys, that's takeaway number one. Next thing on the show is a two-parter. So we'll get over the first part now. Braun Strowman demands an apology from Shane McMahon. Here he comes. He's asking for one because he's been embarrassed. It's just stupid. Like, why a big ass dude like that's gonna come out to ask for an apology? Like, oh, you come out and apologize to me. It's just like, it's not
just
really.
Go beat his ass.
Exactly. It's not really good look. He comes out and just says, "I'm sorry," and then leaves. And it seems like he's going to say more, but he doesn't. So we'll get the rest of that later on in the show. But this was a bad start to an even worse segment that would happen later on in the show. Next thing on the show, while Drew McIntyre is watching, the championship match with Lashley and The Miz, after the match, he gets attacked in the back by Sheamus. So he asked for a no DQ match, Sheamus versus McIntyre, which I thought was a really good match. It was. They beat the living hell out of each other. Both guys were really scarred up in the back. So it was a solid match. It was. The ending is interesting because both guys grab big ass steel steps, and then for some reason they decide to just run with it like face first, like boom into each other. Because
that's what you do when you have a piece of metal right in front of your face.
Yeah,
bang into it.
That's what they do. I'll show you the clip of that right now.
What is this? McIntyre and Sheamus with steel in hand. Oh my God! My goodness.
Now. Yeah, so like you saw them hit, boom, and to crash each other, and they had a referee stoppage. It's funny though because you saw McIntyre sell it. He kind of just threw his over the railing and then threw himself over the railing. So it's a little funny that they did that. But yeah, I mean it was solid. We'll just see what happens because like now both guys are hurt from this, and they had a referee stoppage and ended it. So we'll see what ends up coming of this later on, and if they have a thing at Fastlane, how McIntyre gets back into that title picture to get his hands on Bobby Lashley. We'll see how that goes down and how that is set up going forward.
And great match. I mean, they put forward a really good match. I enjoyed the match. Right after this, the entire show went off a cliff, but this was a really solid match.
It definitely did, yeah. Next thing on the show was Xavier Woods versus Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Business. Woods gets the win here. It looks like all roads leading kind of to WrestleMania. New Day versus the Hurt Business for the tag team titles. I don't think there's another tag team they'll throw in there. I think it'll be just straight up 2-on-2 tag team.
Is there another tag team on Raw? Can anybody name one?
To be honest with you, I don't think there's another tag team on Raw. To be honest with you, nobody else is there. Because you can't even call Retribution a tag team. You can't even call that. Yeah. But speaking of Retribution, perfect segue. Riddle versus Slapjack. So next week is going to be Riddle versus Mustafa Ali for that United States Championship. And here we got Riddle versus Slapjack in kind of a warm up match. Because God knows we all know Slapjack won't say he'll win. Riddle gets the win. That's all there is to it. It wasn't good. The promo before this, the new in the back and the scooter. Like, why does this guy have a scooter? I don't know.
I mean, because he was Evil Knievel. He has an Evil Knievel.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's corny, and the funny thing is they're doing all this like in that backstage area where Vince is like sitting right there next to them.
Yeah,
God knows what he's thinking when he sees this shit. I mean, maybe he likes it. I don't know.
I mean, he's booking it. He better be liking it.
I guess, yeah.
He has to book it.
He has the final say on the end of this shit. Yeah. All right, so the next thing on the show, and it is takeaway number 2, and it is this face down between Shane and Strowman. Now, Shane, everybody's asking him, what did you have to say? You have anything else to say? He comes out and he's like, Braun Strowman, come out. I'm going to finish what I have to say to you. And then he kind of just like acts like his mic isn't working, and then he goes out. And then, gets another mic, and then he starts walking away from Strowman, and he's just calling him stupid the whole time, or trying to say, like, I'm not the one calling you stupid. Some people might say you're stupid, or so and so like this. And then he ends up calling him pretty much stupid. It's just like, and Braun in the ring is kind of like, you're going to disrespect me. You're going to disrespect me on TV like this. Like, I don't know. It's just bad stuff. Like, the storyline comes out of nowhere. Like, what's his real issue with Braun Strowman? Who the hell knows? There's no real issue. It's just random. It's made up, and it's obviously just put together at the last minute. Like, oh, let's just have him get on Strowman's nerves and call him a big dumb idiot, and then we'll go on from there. You have a Mania match. But that's what it does.
Or you fell out of the stupid tree and hit every branch on the way down. Or just quite simply,
that's where it's going. Mania, Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon match nobody wants to see, and a storyline nobody cares about. It's a horrible segment, an absolutely dreadful segment. It's terrible,
just long. Like Shane's a good promo, but my God, it was like, dude, just get it out already. And like, there's a part where he's like, you know what, I can't tell you what I think, and then he just turned around, and he went back. Wait. It's like just end this, and then he had to run away, and then you saw a car speeding out like right out of the arena. You see Strowman just walking like a dumbass, real slow, and just walking down the hallway. And then Shane's like, sneaks up, you're so stupid, and walks away. Like, it was the corniest thing ever. Like, you're calling him stupid? That's what we're talking about? Like, this is what you're gonna fight over? what is this, like the fifth grade? I mean, come on, it's just dumb. It feels forced. It feels really put together. And if you're gonna, and that's fine because there's so many. There's 2 nights you have to fill 2 nights, and there's gonna be some matches that don't make any sense. But if you're gonna force a match and force a feud, make something interesting, especially if you got Shane in there. And like you're wasting Braun. Braun should have been in the Royal Rumble. He wasn't. It was a waste. And now you got this going on where he's not doing anything. This guy was WWE champion last year, or Universal champion last year, for crying out loud. You have a little respect for the guy, and he's in the best shape he's ever been.
Yeah, it makes him look stupid. This storyline. It's honestly, I don't know if that was the whole purpose behind it.
That's the point.
But this has ended up making him look stupid in the end. It's a bad, just terrible storyline. I mean, WWE, like, literally, this is one of those stupidest storylines you guys ever create. The fact that you're calling him stupid and that's the storyline, it just makes the storyline stupid. So I don't know if that's what you're trying to do. It's like super meta of you guys to do that shit, but like, it's a dumb concept. It's terrible. Nobody wants to see the match. Nobody cares about the story, and the lead up and the setup has just been horrible. God knows what his reason is for having issues with Strowman, but there really isn't anything, so whatever. I mean,
maybe it goes back to Raw Underground. Probably what it is.
Yeah, it's
sabotage Raw Underground.
Yeah, it's bad stuff. But guys, that's the second takeaway. That terrible, Strowman McMahon segment is just horrible. Let's get to the next thing, which wasn't good either. You have the women's tag team title match: Naomi and Lana versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Naomi and Lana had this, this match set up for a while because they won previously a match and then they got a number 1 contendership. But it seems to be they seem to care more about Sasha and Bianca going against Jax and Baszler into this match. In the end, Jax Baszler, get the win. The only thing interesting about this they retain is that Reginald now is with on Raw. And with with Nia and Shayna Baszler, and Nia seems to be sweet on him, so we'll see what happens. He got knocked down this match. She just carried his ass out. So it's not really good. I mean,
he's so cute. I guess that's what I don't know. Again, this whole women's tag team belts, they probably got to put them away soon. Like, there's just not. They're not building tag teams. None of this stuff is interesting. The belts are just meaningless. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. No one cares.
Yeah, it's bad stuff. I mean, Naomi's too talented to be in a spot like this, and she deserves a little bit better. All right, so next thing on the show was the main event. It was a long one, too. It was about 15, 16, 17, 18 minutes. Yep. So we had 2 really long matches on the show with the Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and this one. So this match was set up because AJ Styles in the backstage talking to a new backstage guy, like an Irish guy. He's talking back there, and he just randomly talks about Randy Orton and about all the crazy stuff that Randy Orton's going on, how ridiculous it is. Randy Orton gets upset by it, and he challenges to a match. So it's AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. These guys are incapable of having a bad match together. But it went long, and then the fact that during the match you have Randy going for the RKO, he's setting it up. The lights cut out a bit, or they change colors. I'm sorry, to purple. Then you have Alexa Bliss, and then in the Firefly Funhouse, on top of that star thing, and then she's winding a little wind-up box and tells the wind-up box not yet. So obviously that wind-up box is probably the Fiend in there or something like that. Then she lights a match, blows the match out, and then Randy starts spitting up that black stuff again, that black liquid.
That damn black liquid.
Yeah, he just starts spitting that stuff up, and then here comes AJ with a phenomenal forearm. That was the end. AJ beats him. AJ's in a weird ass spot where he has no actual road to WrestleMania. No. What the hell he's gonna do? Isn't. Yeah, unless he does he gets involved maybe in the US title picture or something like that.
Maybe that could be interesting. Riddle and him, that could be something interesting. But man, I feel bad for AJ. There's just nothing for him right now. It's just and he's being thrown into this randomly with the Randy Orton just because for filler and just to get the the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt storyline going forward. It sucks, man. You're wasting AJ. How about AJ Braun? Could have done that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been better. Yeah, but I
don't know.
Yeah, so that happened. The blood spitting out, and he, it just continues. But it's not really much. I mean, Alexa Bliss needs to do stuff. She needs to be in matches. This is not the time for her just to be kind of just doing this backstage stuff, causing issues with Randy, supernatural stuff. She can do that, but she can also have matches as well. It's a pointless thing that's going on right now, and it's kind of just you come to figure it TLC when he burned the Fiend was 3 months ago. I mean, it's kind of
that was in December.
You're dragging the living hell out of this thing.
Which I don't mind, but I think there should have been a time where we didn't see them for a couple of weeks. That storyline was put away for a couple of weeks. That way you have to, and it's starting to drag a little bit. So if you would have kept them out of mind, out of sight for a little bit, and then brought them back, I think it would have been a little more interesting. Okay, enough with the black stuff coming out of your mouth. Go to a doctor, check it out. I mean, do something. It's getting kind of ridiculous. Last week was pretty ridiculous with the video thing, but we liked it. It was so stupid. It was fun. But this is it's dragging. It's time to. I mean, I feel like the Fiend's just gonna show up at Mania, and that's where we're gonna see him. So I feel like we're gonna have another month of this stuff. That's basically what it feels like.
Of just more random puking and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not good. It's like, at this point, it's just like, come on, let's if you're gonna drag it on by doing this kind of stuff, just get to the point already and let's get in photos. But guys, that was Monday Night Raw, a lackluster episode. It like you said, it took a nosedive after the Sheamus Drew McIntyre stuff, and it was an abysmal episode of Raw from there on out. The last 2 hours were just a drudge to get through, which most Raws are similarly like this. I do want something interesting is that like the fire did shoot off when she blew out the candle in the ring, and 3 out of the 4 posts lit up. So I thought it was funny because what happened on AEW the night before. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's the video we have for you guys today. 2 takeaways from Monday Night Raw. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, comment in the comment section below what you guys thought about Monday Night Raw. What do you think's happening with The Fiend and Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton? When do you think that match is gonna happen? What do you think AJ has like a solid road to WrestleMania eventually? What do you think is going to play out for him? The Shane Braun stuff, what do you think about that? Let us know in the comment section below what you guys think about Monday Night Raw and all that good stuff. We want to hear more from you guys, so appreciate you guys for tuning in. And remember, for this work, bro, to the job.
Later, Marks.